Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and I finally did it. I quit my corporate 9 to 5, the safety is gone, and I've become a full-time streamer and YouTuber, with content creation being my main source of income. So that's obviously a massive change, and I've been waiting a very long time to say those words. But with that comes massive changes to both, what you can expect from me as well as the content on this channel. Not only is there going to be more of it, but there's also going to be a greater variety. I'm finally going to get to do a lot of the things that I've said I've wanted to do and that I've been planning all of these years. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first one here is that I have made a new IRL channel called Grimro. If you're curious about why I quit my job or anything like that, or you want to come on this streaming journey with me, I'm basically going to be straight up talking about everything to do with the kind of progression of streaming. I'm going to be doing month by month, detailing, how much is like in my bank account right now, so you guys will find that out if you're interested, how much I'm earning, rent, all sorts of stuff like that. Basically, if you've ever been curious about the progression of a streamer from the start to the finish, fail or succeed, I don't know, it'll be a pretty interesting journey and you'll be able to follow along over there. And if you liked my other kind of IRL videos that I did a couple of on this channel, I'll also be doing similar stuff there, but I wanted to put a place together where I could kind of just, talk about whatever I wanted, and maybe you guys can get a bit of extra Grimro action over there. And if you've ever been curious about streaming, that's also a good place to go and check out. Full transparency is my goal. All right, next up, plans for League start. So Expedition League is right around the corner, and I have big plans for this league. Some people are a little bit down on it. I am absolutely not. I am incredibly hyped for the prospect of what this league has to offer. So I'm going to kind of go over what I'm planning to do. So of course, I'm going to try and knock the Atlas out as quickly as possible, and I will be doing that in a group, but that's where my grouping will end. I'll be playing the rest of this league pretty much solo, with probably a few exceptions here or there. But after I finish off the Atlas, I am going to be basically getting enough currency to re-roll a map or boss blaster, whichever the league requires really, and that will essentially allow me to min-max and complete all the expedition content for you guys, and we're going to be putting out videos for everything. All 4 of the new bosses, I'm going to be putting out like all the new loot. We're going to be min-maxing every single facet of the entire league in its entirety. But one thing I want to kind of get out of the way here and make clear is that I have previously had content targeted at a very small demographic of the community. So if you had a bell curve right here, and this is basically the bell curve of player like knowledge, understanding, skill, whatever you want to call it, of PoE. This is where most people are here. In the middle, I would probably describe a lot of my content as being over here in recent years, and that's something that I want to change. Now, I don't want to remove the content, which is really helpful for these players. I essentially just want to make my content more accessible, and I want to expand who my content is applicable to, and perhaps power up the rest of the players. So I'm definitely looking to include as many people in my content as possible, and that is the goal. So when I'm talking about min-maxing the Expedition League, I'm not just talking about, when you have 100 exalts, etc., of like a build or anything like that, similar to how I did in Delirium. I'm talking about min-maxing it for everybody. There's going to be content for everyone to engage with, and there's also going to be min-maxing on all levels. So if you're a new player, looking forward to that. If you're a really veteran player, I'm also going to do all that stuff as well. So stay keen and stay excited. I cannot wait. So that's going to be the Expedition League. And after that is really where the fun is going to start. So we're going to be going hard on builds. So I've always been known, I guess, a little bit about as the guy who plays one build, mainly being Tornado Shot. And then, I also just do the currency stuff. I'm a currency min-maxer, and that's kind of what my niche has been. Now, that's not going away either. We're still going to be min-maxing the currency stuff. I'm only putting out as many strats as I possibly can. With the new and reworked Atlas passives, we're seeing a lot of nerfs, I'm sure. We've already heard of Harbinger getting nerfed, so that's going to be one that we're going to have to retest and look into. And overall, there will be probably the same or more amount of currency content on the channel. However, my new primary focus is to include as much build content as possible as well. And this is going to take a lot of different forms, but essentially I want to put out curated build guides for as many skills per league as possible and keep them as up to date as possible. Now, I'm not talking about Grimro puts up a video with no timestamps and no editing. I'm talking about fully edited, fully curated, with the leveling, with everything, the works. If I had to compare it to something, I would probably compare it to Izoro level of guides. If you've checked him out and you like his guides, that is my kind of my goal, to be on that level of guides. And I want these to be very, very powerful characters which are super min-maxed, but I also want them to be accessible to everybody. So that is the goal with builds. But to get there, we're going to obviously need to test things a lot. Overall, it's going to be quite a big process, and expect to see a lot of, kind of build, vlog kind of style stuff, where we're solving problems, where we're learning things, all sorts of stuff like that on the channel. And we'll get into that when I talk about how many videos and streams we're going to be doing in the future here. So there's going to be a lot of build content overall, and I think it's going to be really, really fun. The next thing is I want to do a lot more fun and entertaining content. I think it can get a little bit dry if you're just doing educational content all the time. So I do fully plan on basically, like, if I get any sort of spare currency, we're going to try something crazy with it. I don't know what those crazy things are yet, but we're going to try crazy stuff, and you can expect to see the results of those crazy things on YouTube, whether that's gambles, whether that's throwing, 2,000 or 3,000 chaos at one of the new expedition vendors, all sorts of things. We're going to try it all, and hopefully you guys are excited about seeing that on the channel as well, because I fully intend to upload all of the crazy shenanigans, win or lose, to the channel overall, which is going to be pretty exciting as well. So that's kind of what's coming on the content side of things. In terms of the actual amount of content and where you can find it. So as I mentioned, we've got a new channel, the IRL channel. That's probably going to be a fairly sporadic thing, but you can expect a monthly video on the update on the progress of IRL, and what's actually going on behind the scenes over there, as well as some other IRL stuff if you want to be interested in that. But in terms of PoE World, you can expect anywhere between 1 to 3 videos a day. I would say obviously I might miss a day or two if I've got some stuff going on IRL, or if I'm not feeling the best, because after all, I did take on the streaming lifestyle for flexibility. So, if I'm not feeling the best, maybe I miss a day, but most of the days I'm going to do 1 to 3 videos. That's the goal. And then in addition to streaming, I'm planning on streaming anywhere between 5 to 6 times a week for anywhere between 5 to 6 hours. Hours currently unknown, something I'm going to have to test to see what works for everyone best. But currently it's probably looking at around the EU kind of time zone. But we will see. All that's subject to change. But for League Start, we'll be streaming an absolute crazy quantity. Probably, I don't know, like 16 hours a day is probably what it's probably going to end up being. Basically, wake up, stream, go to bed, with videos sprinkled in between. That's the goal. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of content, a lot of stuff to look at, and it's going to be pretty fun. All right. Next up, the other thing I really, really want to do overall is community content. I've already dabbled with this a little bit, and people really, really enjoyed it and have kept asking me about when it's going to come back and how it's going to come back and stuff like that. So the first one I want to introduce here is the PoE Olympics. So the PoE Olympics was very, very successful. We only did it for about a couple hours on stream, and people loved it. Essentially what we did was we did who could clear Atoll the fastest, and then we also did who could clear Dunes the fastest on their builds. And tons of people were really, really happy about it. They are still sending me their applications, which is great. But basically, I want to expand this idea, and basically, I'm going to have like a spreadsheet with the records of everyone for the league. So you can be a record holder for lots of different events. That is the plan. And the things that we're looking at probably doing is, like fastest Shaper kill, fastest Uber Elder kill, and also, the map clearing ones is probably still going to be in there. But I also want to introduce a few really crazy ones with like who can do a boss with the least amount of gear slots equipped. And, I'm fully expecting someone to go in there with basically just a weapon, and that will be really, really exciting to see. And that'll be something that you can work towards after you've kind of done all of your normal league shenanigans if you're interested. And we'll watch all of those entrances on stream, and there'll also be highlight videos of those as well on the channel, which really, really shows off the achievements of the community. So that's community stuff that I want to do, number one. And the next one is the build off. So I've talked about this in previous videos, but basically I want to involve my community and the wider community in this. Basically, the idea behind the build off is that we pick a skill, and we all try and build it together. And the person who builds it the best is the winner. So I'm probably going to be building it. I'm probably going to try and get 1 or 2 other streamers involved in it. So let's say we pick the new, explosive concoction. We all build it, and everyone's working to one simple goal to make that the most powerful skill that you possibly can. And at the end of it, after we've kind of all had our fill of building it, we're gonna look at everyone's builds. So when you got the applications coming in, we've got all the people in Twitch chat submitting videos of their builds, and then we've also got the content creators seeing how they did. And at the end, there's gonna be a best way to build it. Not only do I think that that's gonna make a ton of really, really overpowered builds, but it's going to be incredibly fun to see all the wacky and crazy ideas that people try out. And in the end, we will have a winner. And if it's good enough, I imagine it's probably going to become a build guide on my channel, because, it's probably, if there's 300 or 400 people working towards one build, it's probably going to be pretty damn good at the end. So very, very exciting there. Those are the 2 big community events that I want to be, kind of hosting. I'm not sure how they'll turn out. We're going to do our best to make them as fun as possible. But yeah, you might need to give me a bit of time to kind of refine it and get it right. But overall, I think if you guys are excited about that, down below, definitely let me know if you're keen on those ideas. All right. I do want to quickly, briefly cover here at the end. The other projects that I'm working on are, of course, the PoE Profit website. A lot of people and a lot of you guys really, really still do use that, and it's really, really helpful. I myself use it every league to basically figure out what I'm doing every day, so that will continue to be updated. It is, though, a big challenge where grinding your games is basically reworking the game into PoE 2 right before our eyes. They literally drastically change the game every single league, so it's an incredible amount of work. But now that I'm full-time, I should be able to do it a little bit better, and a lot of people have offered to help as well. So we'll see how that goes. But if there's things a little bit off, please just let me know, and we'll get that fixed as fast as we can. The other side of things is the build guides. This one is going to be particularly difficult due to the fact that they are continuing to nerf basically the entire metagame, every single league so far. So we're going to have to see, and hopefully that'll settle down soon so we can actually start getting some guides up there, which will last more than, 2 or 3 months. Until that time, though, that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I'll try my best over the coming months. So with all that said, guys, hope you guys are excited about the future of the Grimro channel. If you guys see a few, I'm going to add as many ways to support the channel if you want. I'm going to probably add the join button on YouTube if you want to support that way. We do already have a Patreon. Of course, anything is appreciated. I'm not in this for the money, though. I'm in this for the lifestyle and also the community. That's why I chose to jump ship. If I wanted the money, I would have just stayed grinding at corporate. But this is what I want to do, and it is incredibly enjoyable for me, and it is definitely, I guess you would say, my calling, it feels like. So hopefully it all goes well. Hope you guys are excited, and I'll see you guys in the next one or over on the IRL channel for some spicy behind the scenes. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and until next time, cheers.